Well, I will try to efficiently use my 10 minutes. So first of all, thank you very much, Victoria, and the organizers for having me. It's a great honor and pleasure. And let me also share my screen here. No, like this. Yes. I hope you see this. Well, in any case, I will touch upon three of the five of the main questions and topics that were posted before today's discussion. It is about how digital technologies change what Holocaust archives can be and can do. Also, to what extent the digital archives enhance or limit users' relationships with specific objects or documents, and also about to what extent do you see digital technologies enabling new forms of democratic and networked archiving. And I will do it by telling you very briefly about two of our projects, one with focus on libraries and the other on archives, and a vision of what digital Holocaust memory should be. So the first project I'll tell you about is the International Library Platform for Education about the Holocaust. It's a project we developed and executed together with a group of great partners such as Europeana and the National Library of Serbia, just to mention some. And the project proposes a new strategy for engaging libraries and library infrastructure in education about the Holocaust, and aims to inspire and stimulate important international stakeholders, institutions, and experts, and as a next step to initiate a collaborative platform of international resources for Holocaust education centered around librarians and libraries, their networks, and resources. We don't have enough time now to elaborate in more detail, but in short, we claim that there is an unexplored and an unutilized potential of libraries and librarians in teaching and learning about the Holocaust, and that we must open existing teacher training infrastructures for other multipliers such as librarians and archivists, and prepare them for new active roles in education about the Holocaust while utilizing their specific expertise, organizational structures and facilities, and the Holocaust-related material to which they have access to. The project is awarded with the Yehuda Bauer Grant Award by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, IRA. And the final product of the project is the publication International Library Platform for Education about the Holocaust. It's available on our website for free download. I will share the link afterwards. And in this publication, excellent contributors were engaged, such as Paul Solomons, Doris Stavik, Robert Rosette, Werner Dreyer, and many others. And I invite you all to download it and read more about this concept and this idea. The second project I would like to tell you about is the project we're currently working on. It's called the Holocaust, European Values and Local History, Local Archives in the European Historical and Cultural Mosaic. Again, we work with great partners such as Arlsen Archives, Documentation Center of Austrian Resistance, Jewish museums in Bratislava and Prague, the National Archives of Hungary, and the main partner is the Archives of Vojvodina from Novi Sad. And also worth mentioning is that the project is part of the official program Novi Sad European Capital of Culture 2021-22. But this time we are working with small local archives, empowering archivists to identify and use their own and use in their own educational outreach programs the Holocaust records. And that way safeguard important Holocaust records, and we are creating a publication about our experiences. So basically, three main things we are trying to do in this project is to engage small local archives to create own educational outreach programs about the Holocaust based on their own archival materials and local history. And of course, in order to do this, they need to understand how to identify such material. And this is not as a given as one might think. On the other hand, by engaging these materials in their new educational outreach programs, we are trying to contribute to more balanced and inclusive representation of local microhistories, experiences, and narratives to wider international audiences. And also, this is very important, to countering Holocaust distortion. And you can read more about that project as well. I will share the link. Finally, let me tell you about this vision of what digital Holocaust memory should and could be. So let's dig into this scheme of or idea for a digital memorial museum. It would consist of following elements. On one side, we have archival and other records, authentic sites and locations, testimonials, academic research and studies, which all build historical facts. On the other side, we have various forms of art, literature, movies, theater, all kinds of arts that are building narratives of remembrance. And finally, we have meetings, let's say, with survivors, experts. We have lectures, workshops, debates, which are live programs, events, and interactions. All these elements build a new value, something new, that's supposed to serve for remembrance, commemoration, learning, reflection, and finally, implementation and action. These interconnected, but the main components of all these elements are continuous feed from various sources, like peer-to-peer network. This interconnected infrastructure, a system based on real-time, simultaneous use and exchange of Holocaust sources and resources from multiple relevant collections, not only digital archival materials, but also accumulated knowledge, expertise, and experience, will bring together users or visitors from distant places to learn and experience together, and it will bring microhistories and local narratives from faraway communities within the reach of hand for users and visitors from all around the world. This emerging environment of information, interactivity, and sociability will be based on linked data, interlinked information and interactions, experiences and exchanges of experiences as building blocks of a new digital landscape where analog data, objects, artifacts, and if you like, people and their interactions, as well as physical and transformative spaces, a natural and inseparable part of the entirety. In this new infrastructure, a curator of a Holocaust-related exhibition will still be designing a concept and content, but it will be fluid, transformative, adaptive, and alive. The curator will be organizing knowledge and designing user experience with aim to cover the mentioned aspects: remembrance, commemoration, learning, reflection, and implementation or action. The archivists and librarians, as gatekeepers of information, will play an active role in this new landscape. Maybe a good analogy is a flight control person, precisely as an air traffic controller who manages the flow of aircraft into and out of the airport airspace, guide pilots during takeoff and landing, and monitor aircraft as they travel through the skies. The archivist and librarian will manage the flow of information into and out of the exhibition, direct exhibition guides during takeoff and landing of the visitor groups, and monitor data as it travels through the clouds. This is not science fiction. We already have every European Holocaust research infrastructure, Europeana, the Time Machine Project, etc. I'm actually quite optimistic about the future. It makes so much sense for an unprecedented event in human history, such was the Holocaust, that impacted the entire European continent and much broader, to be represented through interconnecting exchange of narratives, data, knowledge, participatory experiences between experts, various narrative carriers, and users or visitors. This way, we will not only maintain the relevance of the Holocaust research, remembrance, and education, but we will upgrade it to another level. Thank you.